My beautiful and lovely Scorpios, this is your horoscope for January 2025. Welcome to a new year and welcome to a new chapter, new story of your life with January. Now, January will have amazing vibrations and good energies from the planet, and we will have Venus, planet of love and beauty, right from the start on January 3rd, moving into your house of joy. Seems like you will be joyful during this first days of new year and even first whole month, because Venus will spend in your house of joy, in your fifth house until February, my dear Scorpios. Now, fifth house is all about how we love life and ourselves, and Venus will be showering you with love situations and to yourself and to other people. Now, Venus naturally rules your marriage house, and those of you who are married, you will enjoy spending time with your one and only, and even in the long-term relationships, those of you, you will enjoy it greatly. Now, even if you're single, Venus might give you amazing opportunity to meet someone special from the start of 2025. So go out, mingle and jingle, my dear Scorpios. Definitely Venus will shower you, because it's a planet of love, and it's in your true love house. Fifth house is about romance, is about flirting. It will give you this sort of amazing vibrations into better future, better love, better relationship, and in general joy of life. Now, 6th of January, lover of Venus, Mars, planet of action and desire and motivation, will move into your ninth house. Now, ninth house, Mars will be retrograding, and we actually welcome 2025 with retrograding Mars, because Mars went retrograde back in December 2024. And when planets retrograde, they are weak, they're not helpful, they are slow, they are sort of in a sleeping motion. And Mars will crawl back into your ninth house until February 24. So it will stay retrograding until February, almost end of February. So first 2 months, when Mars will be retrograding, it's never good to start anything new, because it's a planet of action, But for you, specifically in the area that is related to your ninth house, and universe seems like, trying to tell you focus on this area. And even after February, up until April, it will stay in your ninth house, but already in a direct motion. Now, with Mars, in your ninth house, it might be that you might go to see some places that you've been before, because ninth house is about travel, or you might go back home, for example, and it might be a business trip somewhere that you've been before again, or somewhere that you worked before, because Mars rules your house of work. Seems like Mars might make you busy at work too, but like sending you to business trips somewhere far, somewhere to another country, let's say, for 2 months, as an example. Also, ninth house about education. If that's your topic, it might be you will go back to university to take up your degree, for example, or to start studying something again that you did before. This is again as an example. Now, ninth house is about, legal affairs. If you have a lawsuit, let's say, or you're just involved somehow, or you work in this kind of places, Mars will give you a lot of assignments, a lot of busy things, and in general, you might hear back from what's going on there. Or alternatively, it can be a bit slow process. It can be stuck, like you might need to provide some documents, more papers, until February, sort of running errands. Same with travel documents too. If your situation is that you are relocating somewhere, moving somewhere for whatever reason, like for work, for example, like you've got a job offer and you need to go to another country to work, start your work, but then you will have to apply to this, residence permits, visas, and that thing will take up time. While Mars will be retrograding, seems like you won't move to that workplace, my dear Scorpios. You might be stuck with these papers up until end of February. Now, ninth house is also house of, mentality, beliefs, religion. And here again, Mars might give you sort of quite a lot of reflection around your belief systems. You might go back to some old habits that you've been doing before for religious reasons or for belief reasons, whatever is that. Like, let's say, I don't know, not taking shower or taking shower in the morning, or I don't know, drinking water with lemon or with salt, whatever is that sort of, this kind of small rituals. Now, ninth house is also house of publishing, and it's no matter which work, like research, book, article, in general, whatever you're writing. And here Mars might give you a lot of assignments, again, from your publishing house or from your editor. Now, they might tell you to rework some things within your masterpiece, within your work, let's say, to rewrite some parts or correct some mistakes and all the stuff. Now, January 13th, we have full moon in your ninth house. Same ninth house will be lit in the beginning of the first half of January. Now, this full moon will conjunct Mars, of course, because Mars is retrograding there, as I said. Now, full moons are all about conclusions, or they bring some revelation, sort of light to some situation. And it will put some situation or person into your attention, let's say. Those of you who are born 14th of November, plus or minus 5 day, will be affected the most by this full moon because it's happening at 23 degrees. Now, this full moon will have surprise effect from Uranus because Uranus will be active and will make exact positive aspect to that full moon. The main point here, positive word. Now, it's happening in your same ninth house. Some conclusion is due here. If you're, again, in a lawsuit, you might like actually this surprising turns of events. In terms of your lawsuit, it might end up in your favor. As an example, you might win this case. Ninth house is also house of education. If you've been hoping to get an admission from university, some news from your university, which is situated, seems like abroad again, you might be in luck here too. They might give you green light. They might get you admitted to their university, and you will be quite happy. Surprisingly, let's say, this will be very shocking news because Uranus is planet of shock and it likes to send this kind of vibrations. The ninth house is also a house of travel. Again, if you've been hoping to travel and to go to business trip, because Mars conjunct there and Mars rules your house of work, seems like if you've been hoping for some business trip, that trip is happening and news will arrive all of a sudden. And plus, if you work like any sort of actually area of like professional area, especially for you guys who are trying to bring in like client, like foreign client, or I don't know, supplier, whoever, like some business partner, you might actually, again, surprisingly make that agreement happen and sign the papers. Uranus is in your house of contractual agreements right now. And seems like you will have sort of a lucky edge to forge that agreement, to make that agreement happen between you and a foreign party, sort of whatever your professional area is, my dear Scorpios. Now, some of you guys, it might be your spouse or your one and only. Your long-term partner might go to, like, might decide and shock you with the news that, for example, they got accepted a job offer somewhere abroad and now they are moving and you need to come along, or you need to make a choice, let's say, and how you're going to deal with the situation. This can be shocking situation, but again, you seems like will be liking the news. Sort of your spouse might be very happy with this turned events, and it might be for her work or his work. You might relocate to some another country, as an example, because Uranus naturally rules your fourth house, and fourth house is where you base, So it seems like you're moving because full moon is happening in your ninth house. Now, for some of you, it might be about health and well-being. Like you might actually find very good specialist or doctor if you have some issues in that area of your life. You might finally find some very positive, like you might get this opportunity, amazing opportunity to work with some specialist or doctor who will deal with your issue related to your health, my dear Scorpios. Now, January 29th, we have the most important transit of 2025, one of the most. Now, and plus of January, lunar nodes, they are changing signs. Lunar nodes, they are always two. North node going into your fifth house, south node going into your 11th house. Now, because of these lunar nodes, we have eclipses happening in those areas. Now, eclipses, they are very powerful tools of the universe to change our life. sort of drastically, to, better to say, to correct our destiny and life path. If we are moving somewhere wrong, eclipses come in and they correct it to our right and true path. Now, I spoke about this lunar node and eclipses more in detail in your 2025 horoscope. If you have missed it, go check on my website, on my YouTube channel. And but here I would like to briefly mention, now, 5th house and 11th house, these two houses will receive eclipses in 2025, but eclipses will start happening in March. But these nodes, because of like these nodes, eclipses happen, they will change already by the end of January signs. Now, 5th house and 11th house is very sort of special axis. It's, the line between these two houses, it's about all like life and joy and future and your wishes and dreams and like your creativity energy is exactly this axis. So for the next a year and a half, your life will completely change around like children, let's say, business or popularity, internet, social media. These topics will come forth into your life. Plus, lunar nodes, they stay in one sign a year and 8 months to be precise. So eclipses will be happening there. And they're like rocket ship of universe. I call them rocket ship because they have a power to put you instantly up and instantly down. It depends on your situation and natal chart in general. So stay tuned for the separate video, because I'm going to make a separate video about this lunar nodes in January. So subscribe and wait for it, my dear Scorpios. Now, January 29th, we also have new moon. Now, this new moon will be supreme. It's an amazing one, brilliant new moon, which is happening in your house of family and home at 9 degrees. Those of you who are born 31st of October, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most by this new moon. And, new moons are about new energies, new sort of story, new person there. And always allow full moon, any full moon and any new moon 10 days before and 10 days they appear, to manifest into your life, to bring their message, not necessarily on the same day that they appear. It's just on the sky they appear on that day. Now, it's happening in your house of family, and this full moon will receive amazing, huge support from Jupiter, planet of luck and abundance and happiness. This is the most happy planet of our universe. It's like our guardian angel. Now, Jupiter will be situated in your financial house. Now, new moon will happen in your 4th house. If you've been trying, let's say, to take a loan and buy an apartment, apply for a loan, like buy a house or some piece of real estate, doesn't matter what, like, or maybe for investments, you might be in a huge luck here. Like, you might get approved, actually, that loan, even for more money than you expected, as an example, with lower interest rates. Banks will be super happy, actually, to give you money for whatever reason, but mostly it seems like for the reason of real estate, you will be going to those banks. Or if you are like want to have as a investment, this type of business will be lucrative for you around end of January, my dear Scorpios. And if you are in a real estate business, again, you will be in a huge luck, sort of. You might end up, I don't know, selling or renting out or buying, let's say, a house, making a deal, let's say, for good money, where you're going to earn good commission, like big commission, huge, because Jupiter is, whatever it touches, it makes it big. And it's touching your money house. And plus, Jupiter rules your house of income. So by the end of January, your pocket is getting thicker, my dear Scorpios, and bigger, seems like. Now, for some of you guys, it might be about actually family member. If there was, let's say, they might actually tell you a news that they're pregnant or they're expecting a baby, because Jupiter is significator of babies and, children in general. And it's situated in your conception house, fertility house. 8th house is also conception house. Now, this new energy there within your family, either it's you who might get pregnant and share the news with your family, either it's your siblings, for example, either it's your mom also, because 4th house is, house of mother. It might be that now you're going to expect a sibling also to welcome to your family. As an example, something very happy, something very magical happening here. It's amazing energy. Now, if that was your wish about this pregnancy, congratulations on that. Right from the beginning of 2025, it might come true actually. Now, fourth house is also house of citizenship, especially those of you who are in the process of getting let's say, applying and acquiring a passport of a different country, or changing their citizenship, or moving, relocating for whatever reason, like if you got married and you're moving somewhere else, or you got a job offer, it doesn't matter for which reason. It's just that you're changing, the living situation there. And it seems like you might hear again have amazing news around let's say you might find perfect like location for your new home, like rent out some apartment in some foreign land where you're moving. Or you might get, like, everything is prepared. Let's say there is a package, everything is prepared. When you go to that country, you will have a place to live, as an example, and plus extra money and earning skills and abilities and opportunities. Everything there will be present. Now, eighth house is also investment house, as I said, and you might invest also quite a lot in, I don't know, some things like real estate or piece of land, let's say, too, as an example. And as I said, fourth house, where this new moon is appearing, is about mothers. It might be if there was some situation with your mother's health or well-being, some concern, that thing will disappear. Seems like Jupiter will be lucky there. And it's in a house of health too. And if it's related to your mother's health, no worries. This new moon has power to bring amazing and positive news related to that topic. And lastly, January 30, we have Uranus going direct in your seventh house. Now, Uranus is all about surprises, shocking news, shocking turning points and events. And it's going direct, after being weak, and now it's full force in your seventh house. Now, Uranus takes 7 years to stay in one sign, and for the past 7 years, it's been giving you all sorts of roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Because Uranus loves this sort of energy, like hectic energy, and it's in your seventh house of marriage, house of love, committed relationships. And a lot of you guys, for the past 7 years, you might have actually changed your long-term partners quite a few times, like, I don't know, even 3 times within 7 years, for example. Or you've married and divorced a couple of times, as an example too. Or sort of there was kind of very shocking details to your relationship, let's say. All sorts of things might have been there. And Uranus never fails to surprise, And also, as your partners, all those partners were so different, so diverse, even like to the shock of your surrounding and yourself, that it might have been that there was no sort of type of person that you particularly liked, because Uranus had this sort of energy giving you all sorts of partners, let's say. Now, this was your horoscope for January, and always check your rising sign, because that's the most influential, but sometimes sun sign and moon sign too. So better to check all three to be on the safe side and compare which one affects you the most. Amazing. I wish you amazing January, my dear Scorpios. The best start of 2025. Love you all. Bye bye.